This session is about turning your existing expertise into a reliable content pipeline, not about chasing trends. We will walk through a practical, repeatable system that helps you create social posts, visuals, and short videos much faster, without diluting your voice. By the end, you will see how to move from blank screen to ready-to-ship content using clear inputs, structured workflows, and lightweight guardrails that protect your brand and your time. Most creators and teams feel the pain of an ad hoc content process every week. You spend hours rewriting the same idea for different platforms, resizing visuals, and second-guessing wording. That effort often produces content where the voice shifts from post to post or between text, images, and short videos, which weakens your brand. The blank screen problem makes this worse because every piece starts from zero instead of from a system. Our goal is to replace that friction with predictable steps so your effort goes into judgment and nuance, not rework. Even experienced creators and marketing leaders get stuck because their inspiration never becomes structured inputs. Ideas live in notebooks, slides, and calls, but they are not broken into usable components for the content pipeline. At the same time, people try to think, type, and edit at once, which slows everything down and drains energy. Finally, every post is treated as new, instead of building a library of validated assets that can be adapted. The system we will walk through is designed to remove these hidden constraints without adding complexity for your team. The first lever is to turn vague inspiration into specific inputs for every post. Start by naming one business goal, such as visibility, authority, or lead nurture, so each piece has a job. Then define one audience tension, a real friction or question your audience is already feeling, instead of chasing external trends. Finally, attach one proof point or example, so your content feels grounded, not theoretical. When you consistently feed these three inputs into your tools or templates, ideation becomes a process of selection, not guesswork, and you can generate multiple strong angles quickly. The second lever is to deliberately separate strategy from wording. Block 15 minutes to outline 5 posts, using prompts only, focusing on goals, tensions, and examples, not polished sentences. In that block, you are doing pure thinking about what matters for your audience and your business, without worrying about character limits or hooks. After that, bring in your AI tools or templates to expand, refine, and vary the language for different platforms. This protects your best thinking time and lets the system handle phrasing, so your role centers on judgment, not typing speed. The third lever is to embed brand and risk controls directly into your pipeline. Create a concise checklist that includes signature terms your brand should use, like specific product names, phrasing, or tone notes, so every draft leans into a consistent voice. Pair that with a clear list of off-limits claims and sensitive areas that content and tools must avoid. Finally, assign a specific approval owner for each piece or theme, so it is obvious who decides what ships. When these guardrails live inside your workflow, tools generate within your standards, and reviewers know exactly what to check instead of rewriting everything. The fourth lever is to treat every approved post as an asset, not a one-off. When something is approved, store it in a simple, tagged library organized by theme, audience segment, and funnel stage, such as awareness or nurture. Over time, this becomes a searchable bank of content that already fits your voice and standards. Next time you need a post, you start from a filtered search inside this library. Then adapt for format or platform rather than starting from a blank page. This approach compounds your effort and is where real-time savings and consistency appear. When you reduce the time to first draft, you unlock capacity for the kind of work only humans should own. Let your tools and templates handle generation of initial versions, resizing, and basic reformatting for different platforms. Then ask your creators and leaders to focus on sharpening nuance, resolving trade-offs, and aligning content with strategy and relationships. This shift respects the value of your team while still honoring the need for speed and volume. The goal is not more content for its own sake, but more relevant content created with less friction and more clarity. For teams, the same system scales when everyone uses the same inputs and checklists. Strategists define themes, tensions, and goals, while creators and tools turn them into posts, visuals, and short videos inside a shared workflow. Approvals happen at defined points using the brand and risk checklist, which keeps feedback focused instead of subjective or endless. By clarifying ownership and mapping small approvals into your pipeline, you protect brand standards without sacrificing speed. This structure lets marketing and leadership teams stay aligned on visibility and consistency while still moving quickly. A simple review loop keeps your content system improving over time. Instead of only watching top-level performance, look for patterns in which themes, tensions, and proofs resonate most with your audience. Use those patterns to adjust your core inputs, for example, shifting which tensions you highlight or which examples land best, rather than endlessly rewriting hooks. Then feed your best-performing pieces back into your library with clear tags so they are easy to adapt and reuse. This keeps your content engine rooted in real audience response without constant reinvention. To put this into practice, begin with a single priority theme for your brand and define its core goals, tensions, and proofs. Run a short pilot where you separate thinking from typing, apply the brand checklist, and save approved pieces into a tagged library. As you see the time to first draft drop, expand the approach to more themes, creators, and channels. If you want to see how this system looks in action with real content pipelines, visit ryzacontent.com to watch demos and examples built on these same principles. From there, you can decide how to adapt the process to your own creators, business, and brand voice. To recap, you can start improving your content pipeline this week without a complete overhaul. First, pick one content theme and write down its single business goal, primary audience tension, and best proof points. Second, create a short checklist of must-use terms, off-limits claims, and one named approver so your guardrails are explicit. Third, as you approve posts on that theme, store them in a basic library and tag them by theme, audience, and funnel stage so reuse becomes simple. When you are ready to deepen this system and see it in a working platform context, visit ryzacontent.com to learn more and explore how these principles can fit your team.